Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball and the Nippon Professional Baseball League. It is a clash between the Chicago Cubs and the Yomiuri Giants. This will be the final game of the Tokyo series between the clubs of the Hanshin Tigers, Yomiuri Giants, Los Angeles Dodgers, and Chicago Cubs. Well, it was a victory today earlier by the Hanshin Tigers, who took care of the Los Angeles Dodgers. A 3-0 victory, which was the same as they took care of the Cubs the other night, winning 3-0. Last night, the Giants dropped a 5-1 decision to the Los Angeles Dodgers, and both of these clubs are looking for a way to salvage one win here in this little two-game series. Well, first of all, I'll give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Chicago. Leading off tonight and playing in left field is number 8, Ian Happ. Batting second in right field is number 30, Kyle Tucker. Batting third and doing the designated hitting is number 27, Seiya Suzuki. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 29, Michael Busch. Batting fifth and playing third base is number 6, Matt Shaw. Hitting sixth and playing shortstop is number 7, Dansby Swanson. Hitting seventh and in center field is number 4, Pete Crow Armstrong. Batting eighth and doing the catching is number 15, Carson Kelly. And batting ninth at second base, wearing number 25, is Gage Workman. And originally slated to start tonight was Masahiro Tanaka. We were excited to see that, but there's been a late scratch as it appears it's going to be Foster Griffin, as Griffin is going to be making the nod tonight for the Giants. Griffin was a one-time first-round pick of the Kansas City Royals. He spent time in the Toronto Blue Jays organization, and you can see why, based on his fluidity, the way that he throws, why he was considered a top pick, but he was really never able to cut his teeth in the big leagues, so he's getting the opportunity. It's his second year in Japan with the Yomiuri Giants, as he probably looked to try to use this as a bounce-back situation for him to come back to the major leagues after a couple years of honing his craft at a pretty good level of play. So it'll be Foster Griffin on the mound for the Giants. Now your starting lineup for the Giants, very similar to last night, at least in the top part. Leading off in center field is number 8, Yoshihiro Maru. Batting second in left field is number 42, Elier Hernandez. Hitting third at second base is number 2, Naoki Yoshikawa. And the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 25, Kaz Okamoto. Hitting fifth and in right field is number 13, Trey Cabbage. Batting sixth and playing third base is number 40, Rito Nakayama. Hitting seventh and doing the catching is number 27, Yukinori Kishida. Hitting eighth and doing the designated hitting tonight is number 51, Shogo Asano. And batting ninth, then at shortstop, wearing number 5, is Makoto Katawaki. And they are going to be facing Jameson Taillon. Well, Taillon takes to the hill. He's got no record in the exhibition season. He's worked 6 innings. He's allowed 7 hits, 3 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 6 in his 2 starts, and he's posted an ERA of 4.50. Well, that is your starting lineup for the Giants and for the Cubs. We'll be back in just a couple moments as we'll be ready to get this one underway. Actually, we're going to stay with you right here, as it does look like Ian Happ's ready to come to bat. A little ahead of our schedule. Taillon is still down in the bullpen. He hasn't come out quite yet, which is underneath the stands. So it'll be Happ, Tucker, and Suzuki to get things going here against Foster Griffin in inning number 1. Another full house at the Tokyo Dome here tonight. And so hopefully you guys will be able to stay with us for the duration of this one. So Foster Griffin on the hill. We'll see if they make an announcement and if we're able to pick up why Masahiro Tanaka was scratched, or maybe he'll come in a little bit later. Maybe there was a change in plan. The first pitch of the ball game was a fastball that misses down and in for ball 1, and we are underway. The 29-year-old Griffin from Orlando, Florida, gets the sign from his catcher. He kicks and delivers. It's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul into the seats down the first base line, and the count runs even at 1-1. Happ went 0 for 3 yesterday against the Hanshin Tigers, as the Cubs were only able to get 2 hits. 2 of the 3 players that had hits in the ballgame are in tonight, as they did shuffle the deck with their lineup. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and the count now is 2-1 on Happ. Happ, a very reliable outfielder, pretty good glove, one of the best in the game in left field. Appeared in 143 games for the Cubs last year. Takes a fastball outside, and the count now goes to 3-1. I have to say this is definitely a worked over lineup here for the Chicago Cubs. There's a fastball that just misses inside. It's going to be ball 4, and Happ is aboard with a leadoff walk, and that has been something that really hurt Griffin throughout his career, trying to get to the big leagues with some command and control of his pitches, and he leads this one off here with a walk to Ian Happ. And that is going to bring up the right fielder, Kyle Tucker. For Tucker, he was 0 for 4 in yesterday's game against the Tigers. Gets the nod again in right field. Tucker, for a long time, did not use batting gloves, but last season and certainly this year, he has been donning batting gloves now. So one of the few players in the big leagues who refused to hit with them, as he takes a first pitch fastball outside for ball 1. Defensively tonight for the Giants, from left to right field, it's Elier Hernandez in left, Yoshihiro Amaro in center, and the right fielder is Trey Cabbage. Around the horn from first to third, Okamoto at first. The second baseman is Yoshikawa, with the shortstop Kadawaki, and the third baseman is Nakayama. And there's a ground ball that is hit softly down the first baseline, fielded by Okamoto. Goes to apply the tag on Tucker, but Tucker is ruled out as he had run off the baseline. So it'll go into the books as a ground out to 3 for the first out of the inning. Advancing to scoring position is Ian Happ. And that's going to bring up the designated hitter tonight in Seiya Suzuki. Our friend Jeremy Orr in the house tonight. He says, I hope we get a good game. I do as well. Certainly a competitive game. I'm going to comment a little bit about last night's game. The 5-1 victory for the Dodgers. I have to say, it was, for the most part, not a great, exciting game to have to watch. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. Counts 1-0. 3 home runs in the third inning last night for the Dodgers. All the scoring in that third inning. And, of course, the Giants got one back a little bit later. But it is the baseball we've been accustomed to watching in North America. It's a lot of fly balls, a lot of strikeouts, a lot of balls into the seats, and not much in between. As that fastball misses inside the Suzuki, the count's now 2-0. There's different ways teams can win games, and that would be through the Earl Weaver theory of the 3-run homer. So there's a fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike. The count is 2-1 to Suzuki. Maybe even some nickel and dime and a little bit of bunting and different things. But we don't always see that in the North American game these days. As the pitch on the way from Griffin is a fastball that just misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Suzuki steps out of the batter's box to readjust his gloves, and ready to get this one back going again. Suzuki is waiting here on the offering from Griffin. Happ gets his lead at second base. The lefty works to the set. Checks the runner, and now he kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and it's going to be another walk here. It's going to put runners at first and second, and it's going to bring Michael Busch to the plate. And probably not the worst thing to walk, say, a Suzuki in that situation. You've got the force now set back up again, and a potential for a double play. So Michael Busch, who was in the game, he had a hit in his only plate appearance yesterday as he came in as a pinch hitter. He gets the start tonight at first base for the Cubs. So Suzuki, the runner at first, the runner at second is Ian Happ. And Griffin ready to go again as he works himself to the set position. The lanky left-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul. And the count is 0-1. As I said before, if Griffin can get himself some command of his pitches, if he can settle in, not just tonight, but certainly over the course of this season, he would probably be a valuable asset to somebody in the future, even back in Major League Baseball. That fastball usually sits in around 91, 92 miles an hour. Can rear back a bit as that breaking ball is waved out and missed by Busch, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty again getting the sign from his catcher Kishida tonight. As it is the battery of Griffin and Kishida. Kishida came on as a pinch hitter in last night's ball game. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Michael Busch. Pretty interesting that they played both the games at the Tokyo Dome. The game was earlier today, of course, and then they had cleared the dome, and then they came right back at it again. And for those of you who have been to Japan, you'll know that it'll be spotless when the first group would leave. As that breaking ball misses down and away, the count's now 2-2 to Busch. I was there last year. It was really an interesting piece. When people get up and leave their seats, they take their garbage with them, and they throw it in the receptacles on the way out. So there's really not much left at all in the seating area. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to second. It's in the 4-hole. Fielded neatly by Yoshikawa, but his only play is to first. That's going to be a ground out 4-3. It's going to advance Happ to third and Suzuki to second. With 2 out, that's going to bring Matt Shaw to the plate. Our friend Kyle Busch fan 8 Ryan is in the house here tonight. I appreciate you stopping in there, Ryan. Hope you're doing well. Great to have you back for another season of Last Raps Baseball Live commentary. So Matt Shaw at the plate. He was 0 for 3 in last night's game. The 5'9" right-handed hitting third baseman has an interesting stance. We saw him play in the Premier 12 for Team USA as that breaking ball is taken for a called strike, and the count's 0-1 to Shaw. He flat out raked in that tournament, absolutely destroyed the pitching from the tournament that was held in Mexico. And then when they went over to Taiwan, he continued to flat out hit. There's a fastball at 93 that misses inside. Got a Slimes in the house here. He says hello and thank you for the commentaries, and we appreciate you for being here with us as well. We're less than 12 days away from the NPB getting going, and we'll be on the airwaves for that. So hopefully you can make the return in the not-so-distant future as well. Here comes the pitch as Griffin delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It has popped up over on the right side of the infield. It's in fair territory. Underneath it is Okamoto. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it. Well, the Cubs threaten, but they don't score. There was no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, but there were 2 left aboard. Your score as we are through a half inning, Chicago 0. Yomiuri coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit and keep you entertained tonight through this one here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the bottom of the first inning, and it's going to be Yoshihiro Maru, Elier Hernandez, and Naoki Yoshikawa to come to bat for the Giants facing Jameson Taillon, who takes to the hill in this one here tonight. Maru was 0 for 2 in last night's ball game. He got the start, as many of these players did, and then they were substituted late in the game. It was a bit of a pattern that we've seen through the ball games in this series. It is still exhibition baseball and spring training, so they get their 2 or 3 at-bats. Try to keep their timing up. Certainly don't want any of the regulars getting a late injury, as tomorrow both of these teams will get the day off. And then the Cubs and the Dodgers will start their 2-game series on Tuesday, Japan time, late Monday in North America. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs from Tyon, and the count is 1-0. Yomiuri batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Tyon, who works into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed. The count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Nothing like late night baseball to keep you entertained as the right-hander rocks into the delivery and he fires a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 2-1. I have to say, I haven't really seen Tyon pitch in a few seasons. I remember when he pitched with Team Canada. I also remember him when he was with the Pirates. And the one thing that I'm not really sure about, he's got a bit of a herky-jerky delivery. He's got a bit of a bounce as that fastball misses down. Now 3-1 to Maru. I'm also curious to see if the Cubs are going to do a similar pattern like the Dodgers did tonight, where they're going to piggyback a couple of starters, maybe use a bridge in between. There's a fastball swung on it. It is lifted into left center field. Moving over underneath it with plenty of space is Pete Crow Armstrong, and he makes the catch. That's going to retire Maru for the first out of the inning. 1 gone here. I'll bring up the left fielder, Elier Hernandez. Hernandez had a rough night at the office last night against Dodger pitching. He was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. But he has been able to show the propensity to swing the bat in the NPB, as the first pitch is a fastball swung on it, is grounded over to the left side. A diving stop by Swanson. He gets up and fires to first. And Hernandez is going to be retired. Oh, what a great play there by Dansby Swanson. That goes in the books as a ground out, 6-3 for the second out of the inning. That's going to leave it all up to Naoki Yoshikawa. Defensively tonight for the Cubs, from left to right field, it's Ian Happ in left, Pete Crow Armstrong in center, Kyle Tucker's in right. Around the horn from first to third, it'll be Michael Bush at first. The second baseman is Gage Workman. Shortstop is Dansby Swanson, and the third baseman, Matt Shaw, with the battery of Tyon and Carson Kelly. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0 to Yoshikawa. Yoshikawa was 1 for 3 in last night's game. He drove in a run, and he stole a base. There was a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. One thing we noted last night is when Kirby Yates came into the game for the Dodgers, the Giants were running roughshod on him, had a couple of stolen bases. As the pitch on the way here to Yoshikawa misses outside, it was a breaking ball, and the count's now 2-1. But when you think about the pattern or the way that the Dodgers play, they're playing for the long ball. And in the NPB, the Giants are kind of built that way too, with the short confines of the Tokyo Dome. As that fastball misses down, it's 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. As the right-hander rocks into the motion and delivers, there's a fastball swung on, taken on 1 hop by Swanson. He does a 360 and fires to first. And that is going to retire Yoshikawa. They had Swanson shading up the middle, played it in the perfect spot. That goes as a ground out, 6-3 for the third out of the inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. You're now through 1 complete. Your score is the Cubs 0 and the Giants 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. Appreciate you guys listening with us tonight, whether you listen live or on delay. It's great to have you with the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know
baseball.
That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we're glad to have you back with us. It is going to be moving to the top of the second inning as the Chicago Cubs will send the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to bat. It'll be Dansby Swanson, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Carson Kelly to face the left-hander Foster Griffin. As we mentioned, a late scratch. We're going to try to find out why they actually scratched Masahiro Tanaka and the potential of why they have gone this other route. I don't know what the reason was because they did say that he was going to get a chance to start against the Cubs. But that ended up not being the case here tonight. So Swanson steps up to bat. He is 0 for 3 in last night's game. And he takes a first pitch breaking ball over for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Swanson. So no balls and 1 strike. Umpires for tonight's game, it's John Lipka behind the plate. As there is a breaking ball swung on, is lifted down the left field line, and it's going to get past the glove of Hernandez. Rounding first and heading into second is Swanson, and he's going to make it easily with a stand-up double. So he's got a leadoff knock here. He's in scoring position. And that'll bring Pete Crow Armstrong to the plate. Just to finish off, I was just starting to say John Lipka's behind the plate. It is Takayuki Ichikawa who's the first base umpire. Alan Porter working second base tonight, and Kyohei Makita is the third base umpire. He's in the rocking chair. It's 48 degrees outside, but it is a beautiful 72 Fahrenheit in the dome as the lefty Griffin ready to go. He delivers squaring to bunt is Armstrong, and he pops it up, and that one goes foul. You don't see that from the North American teams as much as you do from the Japanese ones, but that's no balls and 1 strike to Crow Armstrong. Carson Kelly, the catcher, waits his turn on deck. So the lefty Griffin working himself to the set. He checks Swanson at second. And the pitch on the way, it's a fastball at 92 on the outside corner, and now Crow Armstrong is in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. It's definitely a new look offense for the Cubs, and you have to say I do like their pitching staff this year. They've made some changes. I'm kind of curious to see how Craig Counsell is going to manage this group. There's a breaking ball, waved at and missed, and Crow Armstrong is down on strikes. He's out for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher, Carson Kelly. So definitely not a quality at bat for Crow Armstrong. 3 pitches put him away pretty quickly. So Kelly ready to step in here, batting from the right side. He is making his first appearance in the Tokyo series. Kelly last year started the season with the Detroit Tigers, and then he was shipped off to the Texas Rangers and then became a free agent at the season's end and got himself a lucrative contract with the Cubs. As he swings at the first pitch, grounds it softly to second, fielded neatly there by the second baseman Yoshikawa, who throws to first. Kelly's going to be gone. They could have used that in the last at bat from Crow Armstrong. It does advance Swanson over to third, but now there's 2 outs, and it's going to bring Gage Workman to the plate. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with Gage Workman, he was a Rule 5 pick by the Cubs from the Detroit Tiger organization. He was taken in the 2020 draft. Batting from the left side here, making his first appearance as well, at least plate appearance of this series. Takes a breaking ball in the outside corner, count is 0-1. He played in Double-A with the Tigers organization last year, appeared in 126 games. College teammate of Spencer Torkelson, and was a 4th-round pick of the Tigers in that 2020 draft. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. And Workman getting his opportunity with the Cubs here, at least potential opportunity. We'll see how this ends up playing out for the left-handed hitting third baseman as the pitch is on the way. Breaking ball swung on and grounded softly foul past the first base coach's box, and the count remains at 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. It is approaching the bottom of the hour on almost 3:30 Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern time. If you're up early listening to us, we appreciate you guys for jumping in. If you're in the central time zone, it would be 5:30 in the morning in Chicago. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and Workman is gone on strikes. He's out for the third out of the inning. Well, again, the Cubs threaten, but they don't score. They leave another runner in scoring position. As there was no runs, there was a hit, no errors, and one left aboard. We're now through 1.5. Your score is the Cubs nothing, the Giants nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Kaz Okamoto stepping up to the plate here to face Jameson Taillon, and he takes the first pitch breaking ball outside for ball one. Okamoto 0 for 4 in last night's affair against the Dodgers. It takes a breaking ball for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. 11 pitches in the first inning for Taillon, and he hardly broke a sweat. So he is facing the heart of the order. It's Okamoto, Cabbage, and Nakayama to come to bat to face him here in inning number 2. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down in the way, and the count now goes to 2-1. Okamoto, we were talking about him a little bit last night, really thick in the lower half. Strong thighs, big quads. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit as Ian Happ races over to get it back into the infield, and that's going to be a leadoff single here for Okamoto. It's going to bring up the right fielder in Trey Cabbage. Just to finish off a little bit about Okamoto, he's got huge calves. I saw him last year, and that was really what stood out. He's built like an absolute tank from the lower half. And he was playing third base. It looks like they've maybe settling on him over at first base permanently, especially with Sakamoto getting some opportunities here and there, although he's not in the lineup tonight. As that fastball is swung on and fouled away by Cabbage, and the count is 0-1. Cabbage was 1 for 3 in last night's game. He had a single and a couple of strikeouts. He was replaced late for a runner after he had his base knock. As the pitch on the way is a fastball that just misses inside, and the count goes even to 1-1. We're talking about Cabbage, how he was with the Angels, got flipped to the Astros, ended up with the Pirates at the end of the year. Probably a good decision for him, 27 years old, to come across to Japan. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count goes to 1-2. He can do one of two things here. He can really project himself and be able to go further. Juan Jimenez has checked in. He wants to know, is there an online stream of this game? And there's a fastball that misses upstairs. They appealed to the third base umpire that they said that Cabbage went around, and so he's going to be in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Rito Nakayama. Well, I guess the question I would have for you is where are you? That would be the first question. What country are you listening from? And then maybe we can help you from there. So that brings Rito Nakayama to the plate. He was 1 for 3 in last night's game. And the first pitch is a fastball at 92, taken on the inside corner, and the count's 0-1. Juan says he's in Chicago. Well, Juan, awesome. He says he doesn't have marquee. Well, if you got the MLB app, they are streaming the game. Some people, they like to come and listen to us, but they are streaming the game over there. I don't know if it is a paid feature or not, as there is a fly ball lifted into center field. And Pete Crow Armstrong comes in and makes the catch. That's going to retire Nakayama for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Yukinori Kishida. Juan says he doesn't have marquee. So if they are streaming, it may not be a free game. Sometimes MLB puts out the free games of the day. And that would be the piece that I would let you know. But I have to be honest, I really don't know. Sometimes they play a lot of games to the subscription services, especially where you're not able to get certain teams. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. The count is 0-1. If you're considered in market, then you don't get a certain team. I mean, you're paying for the service. I'd like to get everybody. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's 1-1. Another thing is, Juan, is you might want to consider something like this. I don't know if you've got a VPN or not. If you had a VPN, then what you could possibly do is, I don't know if you could set it to a different setting, maybe not necessarily the USA, but somewhere outside. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded softly to second. Fielded by Workman. He throws to first, and that's going to retire Kishida. It's a ground out 4-3. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Giants. Well, they get a leadoff single by Okamoto, but he gets left stranded. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We're now through 2 complete. Your score is the Cubs nothing and the Giants nothing. Stick around. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We'll try to help out our friend Juan and give you some more insight, and we'll be back after this. Hold tight.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the third inning. Our friend Juan was talking about some of that stuff. And as I say, if you've got yourself a VPN, sometimes if you got Norton, or not just Norton, but sometimes McAfee or some of the antivirus software, they provide or offer a VPN. That is where some of that stuff will come in handy for you in certain events like this. It is nothing here as we go to the top of the third inning. It'll be the top of the order to face Foster Griffin here. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses down for ball, and the count is 1-0. Ian Happ walked his first time up, and he was stranded at third. Batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Happ. Happ was at 30 pitches through the first 2 innings. He delivers a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Left-hander against the right-hander. Griffin gets his sign, and he's ready to go again. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball waved out and missed. And the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Actually, I want to have another look at that again. It looked like a breaking ball, but then upon further review, it didn't look like a split finger pitch. It looked like he had it between his middle finger and his ring finger. As there was a ground ball hit softly over to short, fielded neatly by Katawaki, throws to first, and that is going to retire Happ. I'd have to get a look at that again. Maybe we'll see if that was the case. It's a ground out 6-3. See if he throws another pitch like that in the future, and we'll come back and try to pick that apart. That's very interesting. So 1 gone. It brings Kyle Tucker to the dish. Tucker grounded out to the first baseman Okamoto his first time up. So he is 0 for 1, 0 for 5 in the series. With the Dansby Swanson double earlier tonight, it is only 4 hits so far in 11 innings for the Cubs. As the first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike, and it counts 0-1. Well, the Cubs are swinging the bat, and they're going to have Yamamoto and Sasaki to face in the first 2 games of their season. I wonder how they're going to do about getting hits. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count's 1-1. I was really impressed last night with the number of left-handed relievers that the Dodgers could roll out blowing gas. Here comes the 1-1 pitch as the lefty kicks and fires. There's a fastball that just misses. Count goes to 2-1 on Tucker. As I said, I really like the way that Griffin is able to deliver. He's got a very smooth delivery. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count's 2-2 to Tucker. Really smooth delivery. Able to mix his pitches, but does he have enough command to be able to earn himself a job maybe back in Major League Baseball? Here's the 2-2 pitch. It's a slow breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to second. Workman circles it, fields it, throws to first. And Tucker goes in the books. It's a ground out 4-3. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 in the books, so that's going to leave it up to the DH, Seiya Suzuki. Well, for Suzuki, he is officially 1 for 3 in the series. He doesn't have it at bat tonight because he drew a walk his first time up. For former Hiroshima Carp, digs himself in here. He was not the happiest of campers as they were moving him to the DH role. There's a fastball swung on, is lifted down the right field line. It's slicing, and it is going to slice foul. That is going to run the count to 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Suzuki to be followed by Michael Busch if he's able to reach here. As the lefty Griffin delivers, there's a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow right field. Camping out underneath it is Cabbage. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as the Cubs go in order again. That's 6 in a row retired by Foster Griffin. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board here in the 3rd inning. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 3rd. It's the Cubs nothing and the Giants nothing. Stick around, everybody. The bottom of the 3rd is just around the corner, and we appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be right back after this. A little timeout. Some of our Japanese cheerleaders. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Gunn is great. Is watching the game on TV, and he says the Dodgers lost today to the Tigers, just as the Cubs did. Yep, 3-0. I was going to ask you, I don't know if you caught it. I was trying to take a look to see why Masahiro Tanaka was scratched from the start tonight. Originally, the start was supposed to be Masahiro Tanaka going against the Cubs, but Foster Griffin a late change there. So I don't know if it's maybe they're going to do a flip here. Maybe we get to see him a little bit later, or if he is just not done for the night. There was a first pitch fastball from Tyon that misses outside to Shogo Asano, and the count is 1-0. Asano came in late as a pinch hitter last night. He was 0 for 1 in last night's affair. Our friend Ryan had his birthday. He said has come up. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count's now 1-1. Get a good kick out of the fans in that temporary seating down the line that they're wearing their helmets. There's a fastball that Asano checks his swing on and lifts that foul into the seats down the right field line. They say put on the glove and don't take your eyes off the ball. That's one of the things that they tell you. There's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Asano stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he watched it go by for out number 1. And he is in the books, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Katawaki. Caught his great said he was not feeling good. Interesting. I wonder what I was hoping I could probably pick up something or some sort of announcement, as there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count is 0-1. Definitely disappointing. I didn't see exactly when this scratch had taken place. As that last pitch misses down, it's now 1 ball and 1 strike to Katawaki. Katawaki, 1 for 3 in last night's game. He did steal a base. As he swings at a breaking ball and grounds it over to the right side, they're going to have to hurry. And it is unable to make the play is Tyon. A nice play there by the first baseman, Bush. But Tyon not able to get to the bag in time, and beating him out was the base runner. I don't think they're going to even challenge that. I wouldn't even waste my time with that. Nice play there by first baseman Bush, but it looked as if that Tyon got his feet tangled up to get to the bag, and reaching safely with an infield hit is Katawaki. Katawaki's got some wheels, so you got to watch him here. As we said, he stole a base in last night's game. He can move a little bit. So the right-hander Tyon delivers a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0 to Yoshihiro Maru. Maru is 0 for 1 in tonight's game. He flew out to center field his first time up. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Katawaki. As we said, just kind of curious to see what the situation would be. As there's a breaking ball swung on, it's going to be lined over the head of the second baseman, Workman, into right field. Tucker picks it up, flips it back in, and it's going to go station to station here as Katawaki has now moved himself into scoring position. He's at second. Maru with the base hit. He's aboard at first. And that is going to bring Elier Hernandez to the plate. Well, for Hernandez, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He was robbed of a base hit by the diving Dansby Swanson back in the first inning. Swanson made a great play, diving to his left, pulling a 360 and firing out Hernandez at first. So he's looking for his first hit of the series. There's a breaking ball that was taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I don't really know what I expected to see from Tyon tonight. I would have thought that he would have been maybe more power and less of the breaking balls. He has thrown quite a bit of breaking balls tonight. As the pitch is on the way, there is a breaking ball swung on and hammered foul into that temporary seating we were talking about, where the fans are wearing helmets. Maybe not all of them, but certainly a significant amount. Runs the count now to 0-2 on Hernandez. So here comes the pitch from Tyon. It's a fastball that just misses off the outside corner, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hernandez waiting here on the offering from Tyon, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is popped up over on the right side of the infield. It's playable. And it looks like the infield fly rule was in effect, as it's still going to be hauled in by Michael Busch. Hernandez has gone for the second out of the inning, and it's going to leave it up to the second baseman, Naoki Yoshikawa. Ryan says April 12th is his birthday. Well, that's still quite a ways away there, Ryan. I'm sure it'll come up quickly, though. That's not all that far away. Today is now the 16th. So about a month away for you. So that brings Yoshikawa to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. 1 for 4 in this 2-game series so far. He takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. The count's 0-1. He did drive in a run last night, and he stole a base. Yoshikawa, the second baseman here tonight for the Giants. As Tyon kicks and delivers. Fastball just misses outside. The count goes even at 1-1. Pyre Lipka tonight has been rather tight with the zone in the upper part of the zone. If you're living down, you've got a little bit better opportunity to get some of the calls. At least that's in our judgment. There's a breaking ball swung on and grounded fouled down the first baseline, and the count is 1-2 to Yoshikawa. Bottom of the third inning, it is 0-0 here between the Giants and the Cubs. We've seen some pretty good pitching throughout the course of the tournament, and certainly the display that the Hanshin Tigers were able to do. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and Maru and Katawaki were actually on the move on that pitch. Count remains at 1-2. So the manager Shota Abe putting his runners in motion. That was interesting. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Yoshikawa as the runners get their leads. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, chopped over to second. Workman, a busy man, fields it, throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 4-3 to end the inning. That's going to do it. Third out in this one here. So no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the 4th inning, it is the Cubs 0 and the Giants 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising ourselves to the top of the 4th inning. It'll be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Cubs here. That'll be it's Michael Busch, Matt Shaw, and Dansby Swanson. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters to come to bat. as they will be facing Foster Griffin here for yet another half inning. So the lefty Griffin ready to go as the first pitch is on the way to Bush. It's a breaking ball that he checks his swing and fouls it off over on the third base side. Count is 0-1. So no balls and a strike. There have been opportunities in this game by both teams, and they have not been able to cash in yet. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on, grounded softly over to the second baseman, Yoshikawa. He throws to first, and Bush is going to be gone on a ground out, 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away. It'll bring up the third baseman, Matt Shaw. Well, for Shaw, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He popped out to first to end the first inning. He is 0 for 4 in this 2-game mini set. I was saying in the Premier 12 in Mexico, he absolutely raked. And he carried on the hot play when they went over to Taiwan, did the Americans in that Premier 12 tournament. As the breaking ball misses upstairs, counts 1-0. But he's got a very unique batting stance, does Shaw. It is kind of closed. It almost reminds me of once upon a time of John Walkenfuss. He used to play for the Tigers and the Phillies. As that ball was blistered foul down the left field line. As it reaches the seats and the count now goes even to 1-1. You were looking at him, it's like he's very, very closed and he's got his back almost turned to the pitcher. So a real interesting piece, and he's up on his toe with a massive leg kick. Certainly in the way that we see things these days, where the open stances are more in vogue, the closed stance not as much, but certainly Matt Shaw bringing the feeling of yesteryear with his particular stance as he fouls that one away, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. So he said, pull out the name John Walkenfuss. If you want to look him up on YouTube, go do a search. He's got a real interesting stance. There's a breaking ball that's down. Nice stop there by Kishida. He fields it and puts the tag on Shaw. As Shaw went around too far, says the home plate umpire Lipka. He goes into the books for the second out of the inning. That's 2 gone here, and it's going to bring up the shortstop, Dansby Swanson. Well, for Swanson, he's got the only hit for the Cubs tonight. It was a leadoff double back in the second inning, and he was left stranded at third. So he bats here with 2 gone in the fourth as the lefty Foster Griffin has really settled in. 47 pitches so far. Delivers a 77-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Take it for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. Griffin able to keep the Cubs hitter off balance. We expect that Griffin will probably go at least 5, maybe even 6 in tonight's ball game, one would think. As there's no balls and 1 strike, lefty works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2 on Swanson. I have to say, too, you got to think that Foster Griffin, this would be a showcase game for him. He's probably grinning like a Cheshire cat right now, getting a chance to pitch against the Cubs. As we said, if he can produce, he might be able to get himself another job back in North America as a fastball at 92 misses down. Relish the opportunity and take advantage of the opportunity and hopefully be able to parlay it into something else. So here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fastball, another one in the same spot down, and that runs the count now to 3-2. I checked that. It's actually 2-2 to Swanson. I missed a pitch in there somewhere. I thought we had it at 3 balls, 2 strikes, but by all accounts, it looks like it is 2-2. So here's the pitch, and it is a changeup that swung on and missed. It doesn't really matter what the count is now. Swanson's down on strikes. He's out for the 3rd out of the inning, and the Cubs go in order. And that is now 9 in a row retired here by Foster Griffin. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. He is in cruise control now since the 1st inning. Your score is the Cubs nothing and the Giants nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us. Our friend Josh is in the house. Haven't seen you in a while, Josh. And he says April 12th is his birthday, too. So we got birthdays all over the place on April the 12th. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the heart of the batting order to come to bat for the Giants here in inning number 4. That means Kaz Okamoto, Trey Cabbage, and Aredo Nakayama to face the right-hander Jameson Taillon. We'll be back out for his 4th inning work. Our friend Josh says, Shota looking good out there. Just woke up a bit ago and he's catching his bearings. There you go. Well, thanks for coming in, Josh. Appreciate you for being here with us tonight. If I remember correct, Josh is I think he's in Ohio, if I'm not mistaken, or in Illinois. There's a first pitch fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Okamoto singled his first time up, and he was left stranded at first base. As the pitch from Taillon is on the way, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-2. Managa will get the start on Tuesday against the Dodgers. As the pitch is a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Okamoto goes down on 3 pitches. Taillon retires him for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the right fielder, Trey Cabbage. And if my books are right, that's the 3rd strikeout tonight from Jameson Taillon. His breaking ball has been working very, very well. Fred Kyle is in Cooperstown, New York. It's been many moons since I've been in Cooperstown. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Last time I was in Cooperstown, New York, it would have been in 1984. On my way to Boston, Massachusetts, there's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-0 to Cabbage. So 2 balls and no strikes. Taillon ready to go back to work again as he rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it as chopped foul right at home plate. The count goes to 2-1 on Cabbage. Josh says the Chicago suburbs. I'm not sure where in Chicago you are there, Josh. I had some relatives who used to live up in Oak Park. As the pitch is on the way, it is a split finger pitch or a breaking that is swung on and missed. I have to do a double check on it. It had a trajectory of a split finger. We'll look at that again. Actually, that was a change piece. A lot of depth on that pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and it remains at 2-2 to Cabbage. Got to say, Taillon wastes no time. He probably doesn't need a pitch clock. He could just get the ball and get going. As the pitch is on the way, there is a fastball that misses outside, and it's now 3-2. Had cousins in that Oak Park area, and then I had one cousin went to Northwestern. Actually, I think both cousins went to Northwestern. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, it's going to be ball 4, and Cabbage gets himself a walk. So a 1-out walk issued here to the Giants right fielder, and that's going to bring up the 3rd baseman, Aredo Nakayama. But one of the cousins, the dad, had passed away. The mother is still alive, but she's quite old now, and she's solidly into her 80s, probably approaching 90. So, I don't want to say we've lost touch, but I've been more distant. So there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted in deep right field, moving back onto the warning track, and with room to make the catch is Tucker. But Nakayama had sent it for a ride, hit that ball hard, just not hard enough. He is going to have to head back to the weight room if he's going to put that one into the seats as he walks back slowly. He's gone for the 2nd out of the inning, and that's going to leave it up to the catcher, Yukinori Kishida. Well, for Kishida, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to second his first trip up. 0 for 2 in this mini-series. As the right-hander holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that's down. It's the throw down to second base. Gets away from the second baseman, Workman. As Trey Cabbage gets himself a stolen base. So Cabbage steals second. He got himself a pretty good jump there. The throw was not going to be in time, and it was short and to the right field side of second base. As we get the replay on that, though, I have to say Cabbage, I think, did slide off the base, but he was very fortunate that the ball ended up getting away from Workman. So stolen base there for Cabbage. 1 ball and no strikes here to Kishida. As that pitch misses outside, it's now 2 balls and no strikes. And Ryan says he lives next door to the Baseball Hall of Fame. That's a pretty good place to live. If I lived there, I'd probably get a season's pass. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and it's now 3-0 to Kishida. Maybe not the worst situation here. Could put him on. They do have the open base, and it is Shogo Asano who waits his turn on deck. Take your chances with the 20-year-old. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that just misses down. It's going to be ball 4. Kishida earns himself a walk, and that'll bring up the 20-year-old Asano. I got to see Asano make his debut a couple years ago. He doesn't turn 21 until after the season. It's in November. But as an 18-year-old, I saw him play against the Yakult Swallows in a series in late August in 2023. It was one of his first few games that he had played in the NPB, and there was a lot of buzz about him, an 18-year-old making his debut, getting an opportunity. He was productive last year. In fact, he hit really well down the stretch. From about mid-August onward, there was a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1. But realistically speaking, when I look at his abilities, his size, his talent, I would probably say that he would probably be in high A, maybe double A. Maybe. As there's another fastball on the outside corner taken for a called strike. Counts 0-2. Friend Ryan says he's a Hall of Fame member card. Yeah, certainly when you live in that area, worth the pass, wherever you'd be able to do that. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball down and away. Nice block there by Carson Kelly as it gets up the first baseline. Holding at second there is Cabbage. It's going to run the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cabbage, the runner at second. The runner at first is Kishida. 2 gone here. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Asano as the right-hander Tyon kicks and delivers. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and that is going to do it. Overmatched is Asano. He's down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Giants in their half. They threaten, but they don't score, and that's been the story of the night. No runs in the inning. There was no hits, no errors, and there was 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we're now through 4 complete. It is the Cubs 0 and the Giants 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action right after this. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We are skipping to the top of the 5th inning. It'll be the bottom third of the batting order slated to come to bat here for the Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong, Carson Kelly, and Gage Workman to face Foster Griffin here in inning number 5. As we said earlier on, it has been not as busy a night tonight through our stream as we had last night. We're doing the Dodgers and the Giants, as one would expect. But we are checking in on all the other stuff that's going on around and about. And it is going to be the bottom third of the order. So we'll see if the Cubs can finally get something going here. Their offense has been anemic in these first two games. They are yet to score a run. Shut out by the Hanshin Tigers and now being shut out by the Giants. There's a first pitch swung on. This ball is lined into right center field. It's going to get down. The speed of Armstrong is going to wheel him into second base. Oh, boy. He hit that ball right on the screws. They were able to cut it off before it got to the wall, and he was able to get into second. So this is the first threat, really, since the first inning when they had runners at second and third with one gone. Leadoff double here by Crow Armstrong. I guess they had a double from Swanson lead off to second, but he was stranded. So 9 in a row retired by Foster Griffin has been broken here by Crow Armstrong. So now that's him at second base, and it's going to bring Carson Kelly to the plate. Now, if this was a Japanese league, I'd be expecting a bunt right about now. There goes the runner. It's a fastball, and they're not even going to give a throw down there as Crow Armstrong is going to steal third safely. He was off to the races. As he takes his helmet off, he's got stars dyed into his hair. Very interesting. So he didn't even draw a throw. He had a running jump there on the starter Foster Griffin. So now we have a runner at third and nobody out, and the Giants have brought the infield in. That first pitch, by the way, was a ball. It was up in the zone to Kelly. And there's a breaking ball that swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the first baseline, and the count's now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan says next year he's moving back to Daytona Beach, Florida. I spent a lot of time in Daytona Beach a number of years ago. And walking the beach was always fun. There's a fastball that's down. It squirts away from Kashida up the third baseline, but Crow not making any advancement. Now the count is now 2-1 on Kelly. I would think this is probably a big at bat here, as you want to try to get Kelly, and then you can kind of work around Workman to set up a potential double play. There's a fastball that misses down in it, and then it runs now the count to 3-1, or maybe you do that right here. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Nobody out here in the top of the 5th. Pete Crow Armstrong had the second hit of the game for the Cubs. It was a leadoff double. He is stolen third. 3 balls and 1 strike here to right-handed hitting Carson Kelly. And there's a breaking ball swung on and hammered foul down the third baseline. Now the count is full. We are 12 days away from the NPB opener, so hopefully you guys can join us for that. We'd love to have you on hand if you can be there. Have to do a double take. It looks like it's Quentin Berry, the third base coach. I haven't seen him in a while. He was a one-time Detroit Tiger, amongst others. Good runner, if that is the case. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Kelly's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 gone, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Gage Workman. I don't know my Cubs coaching staff all that well. That's why I was kind of, when they panned over, I didn't realize that he was on the staff. Quentin Berry was a pretty good base stealer and a really good bunter. And so I'm sure that he's probably been in the ear of Pete Crow Armstrong on a few occasions. Brings Workman to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. As the lefty Griffin kicks and delivers, there's a slow breaking ball that misses inside. And the count is quickly 1-0. By our count tonight, it's 5 strikeouts so far for Foster Griffin. Really settled down after the first inning when he walked 2 of the first 3 batters he's faced. Got to be careful with Crow Armstrong. It looks like he's sizing him up at third base like he wants to take home plate. The only way that the Cubs seem to want to be able to score runs is by being able to be in a position where they're going to steal bases. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded through the 4-hole into right field, and that's going to get a run home. It's going to be an RBI single for Workman. His hot hitting continues here in the spring, as he's got an RBI single, and the scoring has opened up finally after 13 1/3 innings. The Cubs finally get their first run in Japan. RBI single off the bat of Workman, and that'll bring up the left fielder, Ian Happ. got to tell you, I kind of like the way that Workman sets up at the plate. His approach. I haven't seen enough of him. He's kind of a tall, lanky guy. If I'm not mistaken, and this is just off the top of my head, I believe he's like 6'4". As we mentioned at the earlier part of the stream, he was a teammate of Spencer Torkelson in college when the Tigers drafted him as well. As they throw over to first base, and getting back in time is the runner Workman. So Pete Crow Armstrong with the purple stars, or not purple, but the blue stars in his hair. It looked like it's purple next to that dye, or next to the blonde locks that he has. That fastball swung on and fouled away by Happ. The ball is a 1 strike. What speed can do for you on the base paths. He was electric going from home to second base. The ball was not even all the way to the wall. If that ball would have got to the wall, I'm sure he would have been standing on third. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the left side. Oh, what a great play by the third baseman. An outstanding play, but they're not able to get anybody there. Nakayama fielded it. He did a 360, fired across the diamond to first. It took the first baseman, Okamoto, off of the bag. They're going to rule that as a single. Absolutely, for sure. Just to be able to get to the play on the backhand side. Nice play there by the third baseman. And it's basically, he was almost into shallow left field by the time he had made that play. But an infield single, it's been ruled here for Happ. That's going to put runners at first and second. And it's going to bring Kyle Tucker to the plate. Tucker 0 for 2 tonight, has grounded to first and grounded to second in his 2 trips up. Cubs have got 1 run on the board, and they're threatening for more. Here comes the first offering now to Tucker, as Griffin checks the runner. Workman at second, now delivers. There's a fastball missing down and away, and the count is 1-0. I would have to think this is the guy that you want to get right here. Try to roll him into some sort of double play. Seiya Suzuki waits his turn on deck, and, for the Japanese fans to see Seiya Suzuki do some damage, I'm sure that they would be, well, some fans would be happy, maybe not the fans of the Giants. There's a fastball that misses down. It's now 2-0. Our friend Jeremy Orr, who was in here, checked in earlier. He said, hope we have a good game tonight, or a competitive game tonight. And so far, it's been as advertised. It's been pretty good. 1-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. We've seen some pretty good pitching to this point. Lefty versus lefty, as Griffin checks the runner. Workman at second, now delivers. There's a breaking ball missing down. Now, all of a sudden, Foster Griffin has forgotten how to throw strikes. It's now 3-0. And you want to take your chances with Seiya Suzuki as he's getting himself strapped up, ready to go here. So 3 balls and no strikes. Griffin gets his sign and he delivers. There's a fastball, misses down and away. It's going to be ball 4. That's the 3rd free pass issued tonight by Griffin. And this inning, he's given up 3 hits and walked 1, and we haven't seen the pitching coach come out of the dugout yet. It doesn't look like we will. The bases are loaded here, full of Cubs as they're looking to try to pad their lead. And Griffin's going to get the opportunity to try to wiggle himself out of here. Seiya Suzuki coming to bat, and the phones are out. The video's being recorded, and Seiya Suzuki ready to stand in here to face Foster Griffin with the bases juiced. As the lefty Griffin works himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Fastball down. It squirts away from the catcher, Kishida, and everybody's going to move up a base. That's going to be a wild pitch. So Workman is going to come around to score. He's going to be the 2nd run of the inning. The wild pitch by Griffin. Over to third goes Happ. Over to second goes Tucker. Couldn't have been any worse in that situation to have seen that wild pitch. Kishida tried to do his best. He had to move to his left to try to block it, but it ended up going through the 5 hole, so to speak, and trickled away from him. So here we go. Here comes the 1-0 offering to Suzuki. Good hitter's count right here. Pitch on the way. It is a changeup that is swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Suzuki. It's interesting that Suzuki's got the fourth most amount of home runs by a Japanese-born player in Major League Baseball. No surprise that Ohtani is number 1, Matsui is number 2, and Ichiro is number 3. I would think Suzuki could be good for about a 25 home run season. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. I figured when he came over to the big leagues, my thoughts on Suzuki would be 25 homers, playing at Wrigley, and driving at 85 runs could be a normal season, assuming he can stay healthy. And that has been a bit of a problem for Suzuki over the last year and change, has been being able to play every day. There's a breaking ball that just misses inside and moves him off the plate. The count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Crowd in Tokyo is on the quiet side right now. They're quiet when the visitors are hitting. And there is a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul just down the line at third base. Count remains at 2-2. When the home team bats, everybody, well, I say everybody, but certainly the supporter section is up and singing. I'll say this about the Giant games. Even though they're playing in Tokyo, the Giants, I think the Swallows have a better supportive fan base. Swallows are the team that play in the southwest of Tokyo, as there's a breaking ball that's check swing fouled over on the first base side. The count's 2-2. At least that's in my opinion. I look at that. I think that they're much better supported. I look at some of the other teams that really travel well are the Hiroshima Carp. The way that they travel, their fans will go and support. I was in Yokohama a couple of years ago, and they took up pretty much all of left field and parts of the left field foul line. There's a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Suzuki, watch that one go by. He's in the books for out number 2. That's going to leave it all up to the first baseman, Michael Busch. Get a look at the replay on that one, and it was right there at the knees, and he just turned around and walked back, didn't say anything else, but he knew it. So Michael Busch coming to the plate 0 for 2 tonight. He has grounded out to second base both times he's come to the plate. And the first pitch from Griffin is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Busch came over from the Dodgers organization, and he's been with the Cubs now. This is his second year. Getting an opportunity that he didn't get in Los Angeles. It's tough when you got a guy named Freeman ahead of you. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. Kind of makes me wonder if this might be the last inning here for Foster Griffin. He's up to 76 pitches. I don't know what his pitch limit would be at this point. Manager Abe would probably be looking to go to the pen at some point. There's a breaking ball that's come inside, and it looks like it's hit Busch. And indeed it has. He's going to load the bases back up again on the hit by pitch, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Matt Shaw. If you're going to get hit by a pitch, that's the one you want to get hit by. It gets hit on the advertising patch on the right sleeve. So that loads the bases. So with Shaw coming to the plate here, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has popped the first and struck out in his 2 trips. So the Cubs still threatening here with 2 gone, bases juiced. So we said this is the 3rd time through the order here for Griffin as he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that comes in for a called strike. The count's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Shaw. Lefty getting his sign from his catcher, Kishida, and as he works himself into the set position, here comes the offering. Fastball swung on, lined into right field. This ball is going to be trouble. It's going to get down in front of Cabbage. 1 run is in, and that is going to bring 2 runs in as Tucker crosses the plate as well. A 2-run single off the bat of Matt Shaw has doubled the lead here to 4-0 for the Cubs, as Griffin has found it difficult to be able to get out of this inning, hasn't been able to do it. And that is going to send Michael Busch all the way around to third. So they got runners now at the corners with 2 gone. And finally, we're going to get a visit here to Foster Griffin, as the 9th hitter of the inning, Dansby Swanson, is coming to the plate. 4-0 here for the Cubs. All the runs scored in the 5th inning. And Stone Novilles it out to the mound, other than the catcher having a word with Foster Griffin. So probably saying good luck. Don't even know if there was action in the pen. The pens are underneath the stands. I'm sure there's probably somebody getting stretched out. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed by Swanson. The count's 0-1. Swanson 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a double in 2 trips. He's also struck out. So the lefty Griffin here getting his sign from his catcher Kishida. Shaw the runner at first. As Griffin kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that just misses down and in, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Appreciate those of you who have come in to listen, and we had quite a following yesterday. A lot of people listening on delay. So for those of you who listen on delay, we welcome you guys as well. There's a fastball missing down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. Of course, this game goes off in the middle of the night, and not everybody is up at the wee hours of the morning. And rightfully so. Here comes the 2-1 pitch as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. Griffin had to get out of the way. It was fielded up the middle by the second baseman. We'll see if he got a piece of it or not. As it ends up going up the middle, it's going to be a fielder's choice. We'll get a look at the replay. And maybe not so much. So that is going to go, at least, do believe it is going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to retire Shaw at second base 4-6. We know that for sure, and that will do it here for the Cubs in their half of the inning. But major damage done. They put a crooked number on the board. 4 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's the Cubs 4 and the Giants no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action right after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the last half of the 5th inning, and slated to come to bat for the Giants will be Katawaki, Maru, and Hernandez, which would be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters in the batting order, as the right-hander Jameson Taillon back out for inning number 5. He delivers a first pitch fastball that swung on and popped foul. Count is quickly 0-1 to Katawaki. Katawaki is 1-for-1 tonight. He singled in the third inning. That was left stranded at second. Giants have had their opportunities as well tonight, as that pitch breaking ball misses up and away, and the count goes even to 1-1. Taillon was at 61 pitches through 4. If you're keeping track at home with us, as the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 1-2 on Katawaki. Taillon getting his sign from Carson Kelly, ready to resume his work as the pitch is delivered. There's a fastball swung on, is lifted into deep left center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding first and then slamming on the brakes is Katawaki, as it is Pete Crow Armstrong again flashing the speed to get over to cut it off, as he's able to hold him to a long single. Oh boy, Cubs fans, you're going to be excited to watch him. I don't even know if he's built for Wrigley with the friendly confines there, but boy, you get on the road into some of the bigger ballparks, and Pete Crow Armstrong is going to be an absolute jewel. He can absolutely fly. I don't know about his arm, but he certainly has got the legs to be able to do some serious coverage out in the outfield. So that brings Yoshihiro Maru to the plate, who is 1-for-2 tonight. 1-for-4 in the series. He takes a fastball inside for a ball. The count's 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Maru digging himself back in, ready here on the offering from Taillon, who kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. Giants looking to respond here to that 4-run uprising in the 5th inning by the Cubs. As the right-hander Taillon delivers, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count's now 2-1. As I said, a few minutes ago, I'm just really surprised at the amount of breaking balls that Taillon has relied on here tonight. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, popped up over on the left side. It's in shallow left field. Coming in underneath it is Happ. He calls everybody off, and he makes the grab. And Maru is gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the left fielder. And Elier Hernandez. So Hernandez coming to the plate. He's 0-for-2 tonight. Hernandez is grounded to short, and he has popped out to the first baseman in his 2 trips. And that looks like it's going to be the end of the night for Jameson Taillon. So Taillon's night's going to be over as Hernandez is coming up. That must be the pitch count that he has reached. So 4 1/3 innings here for Taillon. He's responsible for the runner at first base. We're going to have ourselves a pitching change, and we're going to take a little time out here. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's Daniel Palencia who is coming into the ball game as he's taking over for Jameson Tyon, as he is on here in relief. As he throws over to first base and diving back in time as the runner Katawaki. Katawaki reached on a single, his second hit in the ball game. He's enjoyed a pretty good two-game miniseries. So Palencia here getting the sign from his catcher Kelly as he holds to the set position. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball at 98, swung on and lifted foul down the right field line. And it looks like we have a pinch hitter here as well for Hernandez. A little late on this, but it looks like it is Luis Okoye. Okoye was in the ball game last night. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball at 100, swung on and fouled away. And now the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Okoye came in last night and played some center field. So we'll see where they position him in this particular at bat. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Pete Crow Armstrong underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch. And that's going to retire Okoye for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here with the runner at first. It's going to leave it up to the second baseman, Naoki Yoshikawa. I'm a little bit disappointed that we didn't see Hayato Sakamoto here in this tournament or in this 2-game mini-series. I haven't looked to see if he has been banged up or not, but he is certainly the longtime shortstop. Played a lot of third base last year. He's been DHing and playing a little bit in the infield this year, but he is in the twilight of his career. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Yoshikawa. Count is 1-0. Yoshikawa 1 for 5 in these 2 games. Palencia, he can flat out throw hard. There's a fastball at 98, swung on and fouled away. Count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. We'll put up our other podcast a little later today here as we'll get our 6th one up. Fastball misses upstairs. Now 2-1. In some ways, this particular pitcher reminds me, maybe not, just for some of the ways that some of his mannerisms kind of remind me of Andres Machado of the Oryx Buffaloes. And the fact that he brings it up at close to 100 miles an hour, his fastball at 99 misses inside. It's now 3-1 to Yoshikawa. Just some of his movements, the way that he operates. As the right-hander works himself to the belt again. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball at 97 misses up and away. It's going to be ball 4. Yoshikawa is going to draw himself a walk. That's going to advance Katawaki over to second. And that is going to bring the big fella to the plate in Kaz Okamoto. Okamoto is 1 for 2 today. He singled and he struck out in his 2 trips. Okamoto is the big slugging star here for the Giants, but I have to say against Tyon, he looked in some ways overmatched, especially in his last at bat, 3 pitches to be retired on strikes. So the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. Giants looking for a way to respond here as the Cubs put 4 on the board in the top of the 5th. And they lead it here 4-0. 4-5-0 for the Cubs, 0-4-0 for the Giants. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left center field. It's going to get down, and it's going to all the way to the wall. That's going to get a run in. Scoring from second base and rounding first all the way around from first to score as well is going to be Yoshikawa. And it's going to be a 2-run double here off the bat of Okamoto. And that cuts the lead in half here to 4-2. So the Giants fans finally have something to cheer about. As that cashes in Yoshikawa and Katawaki. It is now a 4-2 lead here for the Cubs. All the scoring coming here for both teams in inning number 5, the magic inning. And that is slated to bring up the right fielder in Trey Cabbage. And the first offering to Cabbage is a 100-mile-an-hour heater swung on and tipped into the catcher's mitt. Cabbage today is officially 0 for 1. He walked and stole the bases last time up. So the damage coming here with 2 outs. The first run is responsible to tie on as there's a fastball at 100 swung through and missed. Actually, another one that was tipped into the glove of the catcher, says the home plate umpire, and the count's 0-2 to Cabbage. So Palencia bringing the heat at 100 plus. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Palencia again checking the runner. And here comes the pitch. It's a fastball taken at the knees for a called third strike. Oh, Cabbage out for excessive window stropping as he's gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here. But the Giants get a couple of runs back. 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 5 complete. Your score is the Cubs 4 and the Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after these. We got ourselves a 4-2 ball game. Cubs and Giants trading punches in their half of the their half of the 5th inning. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We're going to have a couple of defensive changes coming up here. Yes, it is going to be Yuto Akihiro, who is going to replace Kaz Okamoto over at first base. He came in last night's ball game and struck out in his only appearance, the big fella did. And on the other side of the coin, it is Tatsuya Ishikawa who has come into the ball game to replace Foster Griffin. So Griffin's day is done. So Tatsuya Ishikawa on in relief here, as he is ready to face the bottom third of the batting order, which is supposed to be Pete Crow Armstrong, Carson Kelly, and Gage Workman. So the lefty Ishikawa here, ready to go to work. And the first pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball that misses down. Count is 1-0 to Armstrong. Well, Armstrong got the party going in the 5th inning with a leadoff double. He stole third and ended up coming around and scoring the first run for the Cubs as that fastball swung on and lifted foul. Count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I have to tell you, if you're a Cubs fan, you got to like the wheels of Pete Crow Armstrong. That is somebody who can be a difference maker. And you got to like the way that he gets jumps on the balls and can get to the ball in center field. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball at 91 that misses outside. The count is now 2-1. I would anticipate tonight that we're going to see a different arm the rest of the way from the Giants, as the pitch on the way is a fastball at 92, swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. Runs the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 4-2 lead for the Cubs here in the top of the sixth. Cubs got their 4 in the top half of the fifth, and the Giants punched right back in their half of the inning as the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on and grounded foul. And the count remains at 2-2. As our friend Jeremy at the beginning of the stream said, hope that this game is a close game, and that's what we have here, a 4-2 scoreline. There is a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded neatly by Akihiro. He's going to take it himself and step on the bag, and Crow Armstrong's going to be retired on a ground out to 3 for out number 1. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up Carson Kelly to the plate. Carson Kelly 0 for 2. As he had grounded out to second and struck out in his 2 trips to the dish tonight. Batting from the right side here against the lefty Ishikawa. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball in at the knees for a called strike. The count's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Kelly waggles the bat as the pitch on the way is an even slower breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Ishikawa took a little bit off that last one and had Kelly way out in front. And here comes the 0-2 as the lefty Ishikawa kicks and fires. There's another breaking ball waved at and missed, and Kelly's in the books for the second out of the inning, so 2 up and 2 away here, and that's going to leave it all up to the second baseman, Gage Workman. And for Workman, well, he's 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's scored a run and driven in a run. He came around and scored on the wild pitch from Foster Griffin in that last half inning. And here comes the first pitch from Ishikawa. It is a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul down the first baseline. And the count is quickly 0-1. I was listening to the game between the Cubs and the Tigers yesterday, and one of the announcers for the Cubs was saying about how they didn't have a book on some of these pitchers. And if that's the case, shame on a major league club for not having a book on somebody. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The reason why I say that is because I think of football, and sometimes what teams will do at certain levels, college level, is they will trade game film tapes on when other teams will come. If you're playing somebody and there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and using as an example, if the University of Michigan was playing a non-conference game against somebody, the non-conference opponent would often call teams like Ohio State, some of the arch rivals, Michigan State, and say, hey, do you have any film on Michigan Wolverines? And vice versa. If somebody was playing Ohio State, they sometimes would be able to issue some film as there's a fastball missing down and away, and the count's now 2-2. I would also think that there's enough scouting that goes on overseas in the Pacific Rim that you would think that you're going to be able to get some scouting on these pitchers well beforehand, as that fastball is lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 2-2 to Workman. But to me, when I heard that, I thought that would be completely unacceptable if they didn't have a book on anybody. I think it's very, very important, especially going into a series like this. Yeah, sure, you haven't seen anybody, you haven't seen them enough, but you got to know something about somebody. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball that's spiked up to the plate. It's going to run the count full to Workman. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 gone here in the 6th inning. Cubs enjoying a 4-2 lead here in their first runs of the 2-game mini set. The lefty Ishikawa holds himself to the set position. Here comes the pitch. And it's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Workman is gone on strikes. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board as the Cubs go quietly here in their 6th. Your scores, we move to the bottom half. It is the Cubs 4 and the Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with more action for you. Appreciate you guys for ducking in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after these.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now. Let's begin now.
We are moving to the bottom half of the sixth inning. It is 4-2 Cubs over the Giants. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the bottom half of the sixth inning, and slated to come to bat here is Reito Nakayama, Yukinori Kishida, and Shogo Asano, as they are slated to come to bat here. But we do have a pitching change. It's going to be Matthew Boyd, who is taking over here. Boyd is going to replace Daniel Palencia, so the left-hander coming in. And Boyd delivers a first pitch that is swung on and grounded through the six-hole into left field. And just like that, Reito Nakayama has got himself a base knock here. We do have a defensive change, as Vidal Brian has replaced Dansby Swanson in the batting order. And he is now the new shortstop. So the former Tampa Bay Ray, Vidal Brian, in the ball game now. And so Matthew Boyd, who got last year pitched for the Cleveland Guardians down the stretch after coming off some surgeries, had some issues with his arm in the latter part of his career. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that misses up and away to Kishida, and the count is quickly 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Boyd works himself into the set. And he throws over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Nakayama. That was a very interesting move, as he threw sort of sidearm over to first base, did Boyd. So just a bit of an interesting type of piece. Looks like we may have a pinch hitter on deck. Kind of looks like it might be Takuya Kai moving in on deck, so we'll have to see where that plays out. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-1. Interesting if Kai is going to pinch hit. It's Shogo Asano who is slated to be coming to bat. So 1 ball and 1 strike here to Kishida. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung through and missed. And that runs the count now to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Crowd is starting to come alive here at the Tokyo Dome as they're on their feet and cheering. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is, as the lefty Boyd kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul down the first base line, and the count remains at 1-2 to Kishida. Yomiuri Giants got 2 back off the bat of Okamoto in that last half inning, as he drove in a pair of runs with a double. So it is 4-2 for the Cubs. The bottom of the 6th inning here. Here comes the pitch from Boyd. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2. So kind of interesting. Both the Dodgers and the Cubs used a bullpen day on the first day yesterday. And then today, we wondered if they were going to do a piggyback with the Cubs because we saw that earlier with the Dodgers. And as a matter of fact, they actually played a bottom of the ninth inning where Tyler Glasnow got an extra inning of work in, even though the final score was done. As that breaking ball misses down, it's now 3-2 to Kishida. Keep your eye on Nakayama. See if he's going to be off to the races here. Sometimes they do like to put runners in motion. As the 3-2 pitch is ready to come here to Kishida. They got him concerned and they got him picked off. And now here the Cubs are trying to work the rundown and they're going to get the runner. And that's exactly what we thought as well. So they pick off Nakayama. That's going to go in the books as, if you're keeping score with us, 1-3-6-3 on the putout. So Matthew Boyd with a little grin on his face that he was able to get the runner. Kind of interesting the way that he was able to operate there for sure. So Matthew Boyd ready to go back to work. Here comes the 3-2 pitch to Kishida. That's a fastball at 95, swung on and lifted foul. Count remains at 3-2. I was having a discussion with a buddy of mine some time back. We were talking about, are there any really soft-tossing lefties still in the game? The last pitch from Boyd came in at 95. Here comes the full count pitch again. Breaking ball swung on. It's an excuse me swing, lifted softly into center field. This time it's not going to be able to be hauled in by Pete Crow Armstrong. It's going to bleed in for a single. So Kishida's aboard with a knock. So he is at first base, and that's scheduled to bring up Shogo Asano, but we did see a pinch hitter moving into the on-deck circle. And it is going to be Isayoshi Chono coming in. So very interesting here. Isayoshi Chono. So he is on to pinch hit for Asano in this situation. Chono had once upon a time been a Hiroshima Carp as he takes a 95-mile-an-hour fastball inside for ball one. Chono batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Boyd. Swings through a breaking ball, and the count now goes to 1-1. And I do believe, if my memory serves me correct, that Chono was originally a Giant, then became a Carp, and then came back to the Giants, much like Maru, but I have to do a double check on that, as that breaking ball was lifted foul down the right field line, and the count goes to 1-2. It's just working off the seat of my pants, if I remember correctly, but he's getting a little bit long in the tooth later in his career. As the 1-2 on the way, it's a fastball at 95, swung on and fouled away down the right field line. And the count remains at 1-2 strikes. When this game is over, we'll do a full recap of it. But we are still a ways away from that. It has slowed down a little bit as Tyon was working very quickly. Now that with the pitching changes, as that breaking ball misses up, it's now 2-2 strikes to Chono. And the 2-2 on the way. It is a fastball swung on and missed. And Kelly hangs on to that one. So Matthew Boyd collects his first strikeout here. And that's 1 in the books, or 2 in the books, after the pickoff of Nakayama. And that'll leave it up to the shortstop, Makoto Katawaki. Well, Katawaki has lived on the base paths. He is 2 for 2. He has a couple of singles and a run scored in this one here tonight. 3 for 5 in the 2 games. He takes a breaking ball on the inside corner, and the count is quickly 1-1. And check that. They've actually substituted him out. We've got a pinch hitter here, as it's Izaguchi who is now in the ball game. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and missed. The count is 0-2. So nothing like getting a couple of knocks in the game and then saying, hey, you know what, your night's done. But that's exactly what it is, as Izaguchi is now in the hole at 0-2. As Boyd ready to deliver again. There's a fastball at 94 that he check swing fouls away. Count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes. A couple days away from Shota Imanaga going head-to-head against Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Try to be on the air for that one as well. There's a breaking ball that misses down. Good stop there by Kelly. 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. So Boyd nodding in agreement with his catcher, Kelly. Here comes the pitch. And that is a breaking ball on and missed. Ishiguchi for the 3rd out of the inning as he goes down on strikes. Well, they got no runs in the inning. They had a pair of hits. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left stranded. Your score, as we are now through 6 complete, it is the Cubs 4 and the Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in a bit with all the action. Our friend the Hobbyist is in the house. We appreciate you for being here, Chris, and popping in. We'll be back in just a few right after this. Hang tight, everybody. We appreciate you for being here. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. We are graced on a beautiful Sunday morning by our friend the Hobbyist down in Tennessee. We appreciate you for being here. Chris, probably 8 o'clock in the morning, your time. It is going to be coming to bat for the Chicago Cubs in the top of the 7th. It's slated to be Ian Happ, Kyle Tucker, and Seiya Suzuki. This is where we're going to have to keep our eye on the substitutions as they were coming fast and furious in the last inning or so. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on that. It is also, we are anticipating possibly a pitching change. It still is Ishikawa listed here, but we might have ourselves one of those as well. So we'll see how that ends up going here. All the runs had come for both teams in the 5th inning. The Cubs scored 4 in the top of the 5th. The Giants responded with a pair of their own. That is where we stand right now. It is a 4-2 ball game for Chicago. It is Ian Happ, the switch hitter, coming up to bat, and he is going to be facing Ishikawa still, who remains in the game. So Ishikawa, who retired the side 1-2-3 in the 6th, he struck out the last 2 hitters he faced, kicks and delivers a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Ian Happ. Our friend the Hobbyist says, getting closer to a true World Series. Yeah, in a lot of ways, I'd like to see the winner be able to do some of that stuff. There's a breaking ball, waved that and missed, and the count goes to 1-1. If I remember correctly, a number of years ago that they tried to do a true world championship. And if I'm not mistaken, It was in Detroit, Michigan that it was done. I want to say in the 40s or 50s. It was after the Second World War, or maybe even as late as the early 60s. They had a Japanese team come over. They had the American team there as well. Like Puerto Rico and others. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count runs even at 2-2. I have to go back and do my research on that, but there were some sponsors, but there wasn't really much of an attendance. They played it at Old Briggs Stadium, which became Tiger Stadium. Breaking ball swung on, grounded over to the left side. Fielded neatly by the third baseman. And that is Nakayama, who fires to first, and that's going to retire Ian Happ for the first out of the inning. Ground out 5-3 for the first out. One in the books, and that is going to bring up the right fielder in Kyle Tucker. For Tucker, well, he is officially 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded to first and grounded to second, but he has walked and scored a run, so he steps in here to face Ishikawa for the first time this evening. Left-hander versus the left-hander, as Ishikawa rocks himself into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count is 0-1. I'll say this, Ishikawa throws a couple of varieties of breaking balls. He's got that loopy one that he just threw. He's got another one that comes in rather sharp and tight. But he has a different way that he throws a couple of them. Here comes the 0-1 offering. Fastball on the outside corner taken for a called strike, and now Tucker's in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. If you're just joining us, the Cubs have a 4-2 lead over the Yomiuri Giants here in the top of the 7th inning. Cubs with 4 in the top of the 5th. Giants with 2 in the bottom of the 5th. And outside of that, it's all been a bunch of zeros. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 0-2 to Tucker. Tucker's 0 for 6 in these 2 games. 0 for 4 last night against the Hanshin Tigers, and 0 for 2 today against the Yomiuri Giants as the Chicago Cubs right fielder. As the lefty rocks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that almost hits Tucker as he just turns away, and the count goes to 1-2. I think he wants to hit here. Seiya Suzuki waiting his turn on deck. Unlike the Dodgers, who pinched hit for Shohei Ohtani, not a popular decision by Dave Roberts by any means. As the lefty kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball tap foul over on the first base side of home plate, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As we said, we're 12 days away from the season opener. And we'd like to be on the call for that one. We're not sure who we're going to do. We're going to wait till we get the pitching matchups a little closer. As the pitch is on the way, there's a slow breaking ball, waved at and missed. Tucker's in the books. He's gone for out number 2. That's going to leave it up to the designated hitter, Seiya Suzuki. Well, for Suzuki tonight, he is officially 0 for 2. He has struck out and flown to right. And he's also drawn a walk and been stranded. He is 1 for 5 in this 2-game mini-series. It's the first time tonight he is going to have to face Ishikawa. So the lefty ready to go to work here against Suzuki. And the first pitch is a 86-mile-an-hour breaking ball in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Suzuki waggling the bat. He's got the body armor all on the left side. For some reason, I thought they were getting rid of the body armor. The elbow guards, all the rest of that stuff. But here we are back in vogue again as that fastball misses inside, and the count goes to 2-0 on Suzuki. I remember in the Barry Bonds era when he used to load up that right side on his elbow, the elbow guard, everything else, and there was talk that they were going to get rid of it. I don't know if it's back because the pitchers are throwing harder, as there's a slow breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count goes to 2-1 on Suzuki. After a day off tomorrow, it will be opening day, Major League Baseball style, between the Cubs and the Dodgers at the Tokyo Dome. Less than 48 hours for now. So hopefully you guys can join us. We'll be up in the wee hours for some of those calls as well. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes even at 2s to Suzuki. Two gone here in the top of the 7th inning. 4-2 lead for the Cubs. Suzuki waits here on the offering from Ishikawa. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, waved that and missed, and Suzuki's in the books for the second time tonight. He goes down on strikes. 4 strikeouts here in the 2 innings of work by Ishikawa, as he has retired all 6 batters he's faced. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 7th, it is the Cubs 4 and the Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us here tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We're a couple of strikes behind here as Matthew Boyd had delivered a fastball for a called strike, and then a breaking ball swung on and missed by Yoshihiro Maru. And Maru, the leadoff hitter, is in the hole at 0-2. And there's a fastball at 93 in under the hands that swung on and missed. And just like that, 3 pitches later, Maru is in the books for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Luis Okoye to the plate. As we mentioned earlier, Okoye had come in to replace Elier Hernandez. Okoye 0 for 1 as he flew out to center field his first time up. First pitch breaking ball backs him off the plate, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Okoye batting from the right side against the lefty Boyd, who delivers a breaking ball that just misses outside. Count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Okoye really extends the bat away from his body as he comes into position, and there is a breaking ball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 2-1. Boyd working quickly here now in some rhythm. As he kicks and delivers, there's a fastball at the knees taken for a called strike, and the count runs even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Our friend Titus is still with us tonight, as there's a breaking ball that misses inside, and the count goes to 3-2. So another one of these ball games where all the runs have come in the 1 inning, and then it's just been utter silence. As there's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Matthew Boyd has struck out his 4th batter in a row after allowing a couple of singles. Our friend God is Great says the Giants have sucked, but the Hanshin Tigers kick butt. Well, I can't say that you're wrong. The Hanshin Tigers, their starting pitchers, Psyche today, and I think it was Morishita on the first day, or no, it was Mambetsu, as there was a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1, were absolutely dominant. I don't think Mambetsu allowed a hit in his 5 innings of work, and Psyche was pretty much the same as that breaking ball misses down and away, and the count's 1-1. I think he only allowed 1 or 2 hits. Unbelievable. The 1-1 on the way. There is a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted in deep right field. Moving back to the edge of the warning track and making the catch is Tucker. Boyd thought he got more of it than he did, but that's going to be the 3rd out of the inning, as Matthew Boyd is able to retire the side in order 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now through 7 complete. Your score is the Cubs 4, the Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few right after this little timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We have a defensive substitution as Daiki Masuda has replaced Yoshihiro Maru in center field. And it is going to be slated to come to bat Michael Bush, Matt Shaw, and Vidal Bruyan here for the Cubs in their half of the 8th inning. 4-2, 4-5-0 for the Cubs, 2-7-0 for the Giants. That is the stat line here. As the lefty Ishikawa ready to deliver, the first pitch swung on. It is grounded up the middle, fielded neatly by the shortstop. And that is Izaguchi, who throws to first, and Bush is going to be retired on the ground out 6-3. I was just about to say it's been pretty economical work here for Ishikawa. He's thrown 33 pitches now, and 23 of them have been for strikes. And he has retired 4 of the 7 batters he has faced tonight with the strikeouts. So that is a 1 pitch and 1 out here in the 8th inning. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Matt Shaw. Shaw batting from the right side here against the lefty Ishikawa, who rocks himself into the delivery. And the first pitch is a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Shaw has a single in 3 trips. He's also knocked home a pair of runs. So driven in half of the runs here tonight. As the lefty works himself to the belt again. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that's down. They appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say that Shaw didn't go, and that runs the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Shaw waggling the bat, as I said, very unique batting stance. Closed stance, has his foot turned all the way around. Big leg kick, as that is a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 2-1 here to Shaw. But if it works for you, keep doing what you're doing. But certainly that is something that you don't see very often. Not too many guys in recent memory that have a lot of closed stances. I think of Adrian Beltre being one, but he's been a bit removed. Giancarlo Stanton has had a closed stance. Those are the first ones that come to mind. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Shaw. The game has changed, and it's evolved in different ways. So 3 balls and 1 strike as he waits here. Shaw's not a big guy, by the way. He's only listed at 5'9", and he would fit right in the Japanese league with some of the players and some of the stature that's there. As that breaking ball, as we said, misses down. It's ball 4. Shaw gets himself a 1-out walk, and that's going to bring up the shortstop, Vidal Brillon. That's our first look at Brillon as he is come into the game for Dansby Swanson. This will be his first at bat as he's taking over here in the lineup. Runner at first. First base runner issued by Ishikawa. We'll see what kind of move he instills here. The first pitch is a breaking ball missing down to Brillon, and the count is 1-0. Brillon was with the Marlins last year, 102 games. That was originally a Tampa Bay Ray product. But here he is in a Chicago Cubs uniform. So the lefty ready to deliver. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into left field and racing hard and making the catch is Okoye. And he's showing off his arm from left field to try to come back to get Matt Shaw, but sliding back in safely. Oh boy, that was something pretty impressive to say the least. So Okoye had to come hard toward the foul line to make the catch. And not only did he make the catch, then he fired the ball back in. And almost doubled off Shaw. So that is 2 gone here as Brillon is in the books for the second out. It's going to bring up slated to bring up the center fielder and Pete Crow Armstrong. Crow Armstrong has had a interesting ball game today, and we've been fascinated by the speed both on the base paths and in the outfield. If you're a Cubs fan, you're going to be liking this for sure, as pitcher Ishikawa throws over to first base, and getting back easily is Shaw. So Crow Armstrong here digging himself back in, ready to get the first offering here from Ishikawa as he works to the set position. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that's down. They say that he went. Ball got away a little bit from Kishida, but he's asked for time now as they're going to get rid of that ball. That snowballs a 1 strike on Crow Armstrong. Crow Armstrong 1 for 6 in the 2 games. As he gets himself dug back in, waiting here on the offering from the lefty. Great crowd for these games in Japan at the Tokyo Dome. As Ishikawa holds to the set. And he does a snap throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Shaw. One thing I do get a kick out of is that he's not a big guy, Crow Armstrong, and in his last name being hyphenated, it's like a horseshoe on the back. It's not straight across the shoulders. It goes literally down the backside in one corner or the other. And he rips a fastball that's into the corner, but it's just foul down the right field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. Get a look at the replay on that one. He absolutely scorched it, and it was only about maybe 10 inches foul down the right field line. Shandize Hinton says, what's the score? The score is running on the ticker across the bottom of the screen for you. Although it is in the top of the 8th inning, so we have to make that as an adjustment. But it is still the 4-2 scoreline. Lefty Ishikawa holds to the set. Here comes the 0-2. Breaking ball swung on, popped up on the right side. It's playable. Camping out underneath it is Akihiro, and he's there to make the catch. And that is going to do it for Crow Armstrong, as he's going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 8th. It is the Chicago Cubs 4 and the Yomiuri Giants 2. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for being here. Hang tight, everybody. The Giants are coming to bat. It'll be the heart of the order when we return right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the last half of the 8th inning. It is slated to come to bat Yuto Akihiro, Trey Cabbage, and Arito Nakayama. And we'll have to wait to see if there is any other substitutions that will be added here. It looks like Matthew Boyd will be coming back out for another inning of work. And as we said earlier, we expected a potential for a piggyback, and that is what it looks like here with Boyd working it through here. Both of the games will go off at 5 a.m., but I'm not sure if that's 5 a.m. Central Time or Eastern Time for the games between the Cubs and the Dodgers, as the first pitch fastball is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yuto Akihiro. Akihiro's first at bat. He came in to replace Kaz Okamoto. As the pitch is swung on, it is chopped softly back to the pitcher. A nice athletic play by the pitcher, Matthew Boyd, who has to leap up and get it. And he makes his way closer to first and underhand flips it to Michael Bush. And that's going to go in the books as a ground out 1-3 for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the right fielder in Trey Cabbage. Well, Cabbage tonight is officially 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. He's walked and stolen a base. And the first pitch on the way is a breaking ball that misses down and away. The count is 1-0 to Cabbage. I said I've been looking at Cabbage here in the lineup and just the physicality that he brings. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and count now goes to 2-0. When I saw the Giants last year, they had Coco Montez, who was in the lineup. He ended up going back to the States, getting himself a job back in organized ball in Major League Baseball. As there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 2-1. There is action in the Giants bullpen, as they have a right-hander up and throwing. I'm not sure, I didn't catch a number on that. There's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. The count runs even to 2-2 on Cabbage. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Matthew Boyd ready to go again. The 2-2 is on the way. He rocks and fires. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded there by Workman, who throws to first, and Cabbage is retired on a ground out 4-3. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Arito Nakayama. Nakayama, I should say. Nakayama 1 for 3 tonight. He was picked off his last time up. As he waits on the offering from Boyd, it's a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count is 1-0. Nakayama was 1 for 3 yesterday as well, so for 2 for 6 in the 2 games in this series. As Boyd delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on. It is sliced into left field. Racing hard as Happ. It gets down and it gets by him. And that is going to allow Nakayama to get into second base. We're going to see how they're going to score it. I think they're going to probably rule that as a double. And that's exactly what it is. Nakayama is going to get in there. Ian Happ had to come in. He had to dive and try to make the catch. Couldn't do it. Ball ended up squirting away from him, but right now, at this point, no real damage because there's 2 gone, runner at second. And is slated to bring up the catcher Kishida, but instead we're going to see a pinch hitter. It's going to be Takuya Kai. So Kai coming in to pinch hit. The former Fukuoka SoftBank Hawk. Here comes the first pitch. That's a breaking ball that catches him at the knees for called strike. The count is 0-1. Not known for his bat, more for his glove is Kai. As he waits here, he's got an open stance. He's waggling the bat. As Boyd now delivers, there's a fastball that swung through and missed, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. But Kai has had flair of the Doradics in the past. He's hit some big home runs for the Hawks and has been able to do those type of things, but we'll see what he's got in him here. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 0-2. 2 gone, runner at second. Giants are trailing the Cubs 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning here. As the lefty Boyd holds again to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. Grounded softly over to short. Brian fields it. Fires to first. And that is going to retire Kai. It goes as a ground out 6-3. And that is going to do it here for the Giants in their half of the 8th inning. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There were no errors. And there was 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 9th inning. Your score is the Chicago Cubs 4 and the Yomiuri Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the 9th inning when we return right after this. We appreciate you guys for being here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight. You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game. Welcome back, everybody. It's slated to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat here for the Cubs in their half of the 9th inning. It's going to be Carson Kelly, Gage Workman, and Ian Happ. So we'll see how this is going to play out here as we are just catching up on some of our other pieces of information. And hopefully you guys will be sticking around here for this last inning, and who knows, maybe extra innings might be on the docket as well. We do have a pitching change as the Giants have gone to their bullpen, and this is going to be Taisi Oda, who just goes by Taisi, The 25-year-old, the 5'11", 195-pound righty who acts as their closer, is now on in relief, and he works himself into the windup here against Carson Kelly. It's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball that Kelly turns around and hits through the 6-hole into left field for a base hit single, so a leadoff single on the first pitch he sees. So Taisi Oda gives up the first hit. He's the third pitcher used tonight by the Giants. Foster Griffin went the first 5, then it was Tetsuya Ishikawa who went the next 3, and now here we are with Taisi Oda, or Taisi, as he is most known by. Here comes the pitch. Fastball at 95, swung through and missed by Gage Workman, and the count is 1-1. Workman tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's struck out twice, and he's driven in a run. As Taisi ready to go again here as he gets his sign. And now he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball at 95 that misses outside. Takuya Kai had to go out and get it. 1 ball and 1 strike it is. That last pitch checked in at 95 miles an hour. He can ramp it up a little bit. He could bring it up to 97, 98 at times, but there's the movement on the pitch. That last pitch was a fastball swung on and fouled away. He's got a lot of arm side run, does Oda, on this, or Taisi as they say. Checks the runner over at first base. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Workman. As he holds to the set, now he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count runs even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. All the runs came in the 5th inning in this one, and after that, it's been pretty much silence. As the right-hander delivers again, there's a fastball that swung on and it's tapped foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 2-2 to Workman. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oda gets the sign from his catcher, and he works himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and lined foul into the seats down the left field line, and that keeps the count at 2-2. We're in the deep water now in the 9th inning as Cubs are looking for insurance. That's the difference between Major League Baseball and Japanese League. 4-2 lead here. If this was another Japanese team, you can pretty much bet dollars to donuts that they would have tried to bunt the runner over. And there's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. And Workman is gone. And then take 2 cracks to try to bring Kelly home to at least give him some insurance purposes. And, here you are late in the ball game. You're in the 9th inning. I get it. I understand that they talk about the analytics and the bunts. And maybe early on it's not the right thing to do. But late in the ball game here, to give you that extra insurance run, put your team up 3 as opposed to being up 2, going to the bottom half of the 9th. I think that would be something I would be leaning toward a little bit more if you're going to give up outs, especially with the lead. There's a fastball that misses down for ball 1 to Ian Happ. Happ tonight, in his 4 trips to the plate, he's 1 for 3. He scored a run. He's also drawn a walk. Kyle Tucker is waiting his turn on deck. We'll have to see if Seiya Suzuki will make another appearance here tonight as well. There's a 95-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. Taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Taisi delivers. There's a breaking ball down. Nice stop there by Takuya Kai. Made Happ play hopscotch at the plate there. He had to skip and get out of the way. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is here to Ian Happ. Again, the right-hander leans in and he gets the sign from his catcher as he works himself into the set position. And now the pitch on the way, another fastball that misses down. It's now 3-1. So it's not a safe situation here for Ticey, but sometimes pitchers, their frame of mind's a little bit different when they are coming in to close a game as opposed to when they're coming in and pitching when they're down. And that certainly is where the Giants are at right now. They're down 4-2 here in the 9th inning. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This is lifted into left field. Right onto the warning track with room is Okoye. He makes the catch. And he fires it back in, and retreating back to first base is the runner, Carson Kelly. So that's going to put 2 in the books. And that's going to leave it all up to the right fielder, Kyle Tucker. I've got quite a bit of that pitch. Just didn't quite get enough. The ballparks in Japan are just a little bit smaller in capacity than a lot of the major league parks. I'd say the one that's closest to the major league field in terms of dimensions is Hotomoto Field in Kobe. As that pitch is swung on and missed, the former home of the Oryx Blue Wave. Of course, they merged to become the Oryx Buffaloes. But that is where that used to be. There's a fastball that misses outside to Tucker, and the count's 1-1. They say that is the park that emulates a major league park as close as you can get. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count now is 1-2 to Kyle Tucker. Tucker still looking for his first hit in Japan here in this series. 0 for 4 last night, 0 for 3 tonight with the walk and a run. Ticey ready to go again here as he gets his sign from Takuya Kai. Tucker holds the bat really, really high. And the pitch on the way. Breaking ball swung on, lifted into shallow left field. Moving back on it is the third baseman, Nakayama, and he's going to make an over-the-shoulder catch, and that's going to retire Tucker for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Giants got one more crack to score some runs to try to get themselves a win here in the series. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom of the 9th inning. Your score is the Chicago Cubs 4 and the Yomiuri Giants 2. Stick around, everybody. We'll bring this one home for you here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after these little messages. Welcome back, everybody. We are cruising to the bottom half of the 9th inning, and slated to come to bat are the 8, 9, and 1 hitters in the Giants batting order. That would be Chono, Izaguchi, and the top of the order, Masuda. We'll see how this is going to play out. It looks like that is still going to be Matthew Boyd on the hill here for the Cubs. So he has been the second starter used tonight, I guess, as they use a piggyback with a bridge. As the first pitch breaking ball is taken by Chono for a called strike. The count's 0-1. Chono replaced Shogo Asano and struck out his first time up as he swings through a breaking ball, and the count is now quickly 0-2. It's the second time he's faced Boyd tonight. As Chono waits here on the offering from the lefty, who rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball that goes all the way to the backstop as it misses outside. The count now is 1-2 on Chono. Yuta Izaguchi, and then Daiki Masuda slated to come to bat here to face the lefty. As they say, the Giants are running out of outs as they find themselves in a 4-2 deficit. They need a base runner. As the lefty Boyd ready to go again, he rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Fastball at 93, swung on and missed, and that is going to put Chono in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That'll bring up the shortstop, Yuta Izaguchi. And if my math is correct, that would be the 5th strikeout of the night for Matthew Boyd since coming on in the 6th inning in relief. So Izaguchi stands in. The first pitch is swung on. It's taken softly on one hop by the second baseman, Workman. Fields it, he throws to first, and Izaguchi's gone on a ground out 4-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and now the Giants are down to their final out as Daiki Masuda will come to the plate. This is Masuda's first plate appearance here tonight as he replaced Yoshihiro Maru. Defensively, in the 8th inning. And the first pitch on the way, it is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. The count's 0-1. I think that is the hurry up, let's get out of here call from the home plate umpire, John Lipka. Pitch looked like it was off the dish. Here comes a breaking ball that's waved at and missed. And now that is put the Giants down to their final strike at no balls and 2 strikes. And by that swing, it was the Daiki Masuda, let's get out of here as quickly as we can swing as well. And there's a fastball that just misses a little bit upstairs, and that runs the count to 1-2 on Masuda. Boyd wasting very little time here, getting the ball and going right back to work as he rocks into the windup and delivers. There's a fastball swung on a grounded foul over on the first base side. The count remains at 1-2 to Masuda. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Both of the games had pretty good pace last night and tonight as well. And here's the pitch from Boyd. It is swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. Kelly picks it up, but he's going to have to throw it down to first base, and that is going to do it as Masuda goes down on strikes. The official scoring is 2-3 on the putout. That'll be it for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here as the Chicago Cubs have knocked off the Yomiuri Giants by a final score of 4-2. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board here in the 9th. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We'll wrap this baby up for you, and we will put this one to rest, give you what's coming up, and hopefully you guys can join us for that as well. Hang tight. We'll be right back after these.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Appreciate you there, Matt, and everybody who tuned in today to listen to the Chicago Cubs knock off the Yomiuri Giants 4-2. We'll give you the roundup, but it'll be pretty quick. All we have to do is look at the fifth inning. The Chicago Cubs sent 9 hitters to the plate in the fifth. A leadoff double from Pete Crow Armstrong. He stole third. And then with 1 out, up stepped Gage Workman, and he had an RBI single to bring home the first run of the ball game, making it 1-0 for the Cubs. Ian Happ followed. He had a single, and then Kyle Tucker walked to load the bases. And then a wild pitch brought home Gage Workman with the second run of the ball game. After Seiya Suzuki struck out looking, Michael Bush was hit by a pitch to reload the bases. And up stepped Matt Shaw, who delivered a 2-run single to double the score from 2-0 to 4-0 for the Cubs at that point. Well, the Giants responded with a pair of their own in the bottom half of the fifth inning, as they had a leadoff single from Makoto Katawaki after Yoshihiro Maru flew out, and Luis Okoye flew out. Naoki Yoshikawa walked, and up stepped Kaz Okamoto, and he delivered a 2-run double into the left center field gap to make the scoreline 4-2, and that was where it pretty much ended. There was no other scoring in this one here. All the damage done in inning number 5, as the Chicago Cubs salvage a win in their 2-game international exhibition series against the Yomiuri Giants and the Hanshin Tigers. Well, everybody, in a couple of weeks from now, we will be on the airwaves in less than a couple of weeks, 12 days from now, as we'll be opening up the NPB season. So hopefully you guys will join us for that. We are going to try to get on and call the games between the Cubs and the Dodgers late night as well. So if you're around, you want to listen, we can always appreciate your support. But once again, you've listened to another Last Raps Baseball production, and we hope you guys have yourself a great night. We're going to sign off for now, and hopefully we'll catch you again later in the week. Another Japan Baseball Report podcast is coming up, so be tuned if you are listening to those as well. Hopefully you guys will check that out for us as well. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again later in the week.